This is LEGO Batman 3, one of the most beloved LEGO games, but also the most hated at the same time, and the third installment into the current LEGO Batman trilogy, and if all goes well, my next Platinum trophy. Not only will I be going for all the base game trophies, but I will also be playing through all 6 DLC mission packs to completion for all of their trophies as voted for by all of you loyal viewers. I have to collect over 200 characters, 250 gold bricks, 16 red bricks, a grand total of 30 Adam West apparel, and a shocking 160 total mini kits. Can I collect them all or will I fail miserably? Let's jump in and find out. The story of LEGO Batman 3 is split up between 15 main missions and one secret bonus mission. And before any of them, we get to see this cutscene with all the different lanterns arriving in the same spot in space. But why? Half of them hate each other. Why are they there? Turns out the big bad of this game, Brainiac, invited them. But oh well, let's not worry about that for now and go down to Earth to meet back up with our boys, Batman and Robin. When we see them again, the dynamic duo are now in the sewers beneath Gotham hunting down Killer Croc. As we make our way through, we get our first taste of suit swapping in this game. Now, for those that don't know, this is essentially how the LEGO DC games were able to have so many puzzles with so many different things to do with very little characters in comparison to the other LEGO games. Because some of these characters are able to swap their suit, giving them unique abilities like turning invisible, blowing up silver bricks, controlling magnets, and many other things. We eventually catch up with Killer Croc, and after a very short 1 health boss battle, we watch as Robin gets too excited and essentially aids Croc in his escape. We then see that Croc has teamed up with other villains such as Joker, Firefly, Cheetah, and Solomon Grundy. What have they teamed up for? We'll just have to keep playing to find out. Before we jump into the next mission, we watch as Brainiac is able to capture all the lantern types besides the Green Lantern. So he heads towards Earth in search of Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern. In our next mission, we play as Batman and Robin once again. This is a Batman game after all, as they work together to investigate the Brainiac ship. However, during their investigations, Batman is put under the mind control of Brainiac. And playing as Robin and Alfred, we work towards breaking Brainiac's control on Batman, and after Robin gives a very heartfelt speech,
Batman, wait! It's me! Robin! You know, Tim Drake!
Nobody cares about Tim Drake!
Batman breaks free of the mind control and the mission ends. Then watch as the villains, now teamed up with Lex Luthor, manage to force their way into the Hall of Justice, and then use the teleporter to teleport up to the Justice League Watchtower. We then take control of Batman and Robin as they rebuild the Bat Rocket and then blast off into space to protect the Watchtower. We then do one of those standard LEGO missions at this point where we fly around a certain structure, normally a flying one, as we blow up various enemy forces. Before Batman teams up with the Flash and Cyborg, 2 people that he hates teaming up with, we then open the doors so that Wonder Woman can arrive on her invisible jet, and the mission ends. The entire Justice League now in the Watchtower, we are able to take down the bad guys. Firstly, we play as Wonder Woman and the Flash, an unusual team up, to take down Firefly rather easily. And after we rather easily take him down, we move on to take down Cheetah almost just as easily. It was a little bit challenging, but we got through it. After that, we then play as Cyborg and Robin to take down Solomon Grundy and Killer Croc. And after that, we play as Batman and Superman as they take down their respective arch enemies, the Joker and Lex Luthor, of course. After all that, we see that the hero's work isn't done yet, as Brainiac's ship is now slowly approaching. At some point, Brainiac managed to capture Green Lantern and has now turned him against us. I'm not sure when this happened. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention, but it happened. Green Lantern is then used to lock down the heroes. We thankfully managed to break free, but not before Brainiac is able to shrink down Earth using the combined power of all the stolen lanterns. And so the heroes decide that for now, the best course of action is to team up with the villains. Pretty odd. I mean, we just locked them away and it all seems kind of rushed, but I'm not going to complain. We end the mission by grappling the Justice League Watchtower to the side of Brainiac's ship, hence the mission's name, the Big Grapple. Now on Brainiac's ship, the heroes and villains work together to make it to the center of the ship and stop Brainiac. Eventually, we do reach the center of the ship after some normal LEGO shenanigans, but something happens and the crystals holding the power of the lantern, all of them except for death and life, that being fear, hope, mercy, love, rage, greed, and of course, will, end up breaking and the power gets shot out everywhere, causing random characters to be imbued with the different emotions, which is pretty fun. Oh, and whilst this is happening, Superman, Wonder Woman, now imbued with the Rage Lantern, and Batman all go crashing down to the teeny tiny Earth. As this is happening, the remaining heroes on the Watchtower, with Robin now leading them, lose control of it and has begun to go spiraling towards the moon, but out of nowhere comes Green Lantern to save us, now no longer evil. After that, we then rejoin Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman down on the mini-Earth. This mission follows the big three as they track Brainiac across the Earth, well, more specifically across Europe, hence the mission title, Europe Against It. This game loves its mission puns. First, we are in Paris, then London, and then finally Italy. We take down Brainiac and stop him from stealing all those cities, but sadly, he gets away once again. The next mission has us essentially doing the same thing, but this time within the confines of Lego Gotham City, and with different team-ups of heroes and villains. This was fun as we got to see more of the effect that the Lantern emotions had on each character, like how Flash got hit with the Orange Lantern and now wants to own everything, or how Joker was hit with the Pink Lantern and now loves everyone. Very different to how they normally are. The mission ends with another boss fight against Brainiac, but thankfully we were able to defeat him and lock him down for now. The next 4 missions have us all splitting up into different teams so that we can track down the source planets of all the different lantern powers in order to use their lantern batteries to harness the power of the lanterns, and with the help of some crystals from Superman's Fortress of Solitude, we can hopefully revert all the lanterns' infused emotional chaos. Now, you can do these lantern missions in whatever order you may like for the most part, but I decided to do them as they appear in the trophy list. So first was the Love Lanterns. With a team of Martian Manhunter, Cyborg, and the Flash, we make our way through the Love Planet. At some point, the creature living within the Love Lantern breaks free. This will become a normal thing and decides to attack us. Thankfully, we managed to hold it off long enough for Star Sapphire, the key and I think maybe the only Pink Lantern, to rescue us, and after that she joins our team, ending the mission. The next mission, we are with the same trio, but this time our goal is the Blue Lanterns. As we arrive to the planet, we see that they are under attack by these bug bad guy things. I don't even know. Honestly, I have no idea when it comes to the Blue Lantern lore. I don't really know a lot about Lantern lore in general. Let me know down below why these bugs are here if you know. Eventually, we make our way towards the end of the mission where we rescue the Blue Lantern, where we actually get to play as him. The first time playing as a Lantern in the entire game so far, I think. Before he decides to come back with us and help us with the Brainiac threat. We have one more typically peaceful Lantern to ask for help, the Purple Harmony Lanterns. Notice how I said typically, because turns out that amongst all the Brainiac chaos, the Purple Lantern's core battery had broken, causing all the beings on the otherwise harmony-filled planet to lose all their harmony, making them extremely volatile. So we fight our way through all the angry individuals, and once we fix the lantern batteries, they decide to lend us a hand, ending this mission. With all the normally helpful and friendly lanterns now on our side, it is time to try and convince the more than less friendly lanterns of the yellow, orange, and red cores to help us out. Following the trend of doing the mission in trophy order, I first went for the red lanterns. Now, unlike the previous lanterns, we won't be able to count on the individual lanterns' help, so instead we are going to steal some of their batteries' power using Hal Jordan as a trophy of sorts. On this red planet is full of lava and volcano and just a bunch of bad stuff. Typically, this is just the HE double hockey sticks of planets. We obviously have to fight our way through all the way towards the end of the mission where the big bad red lantern lets the creature inside the battery free. I told you it would become common. And after that, we come face to face with Atrocitus. This is where the heroes use their plan. The heroes are dressed up as the bad guys in order to use Green Lantern as bait to distract the evil lanterns and steal some of their power. But once we get some of the Red Lantern power, we end the mission. Whilst we are doing all this, Superman is at the Fortress of Solitude with all the Earth villains using his supervision and all his Kryptonian powers to make an exact duplicate of the crystal needed to fix the Lantern's power, but that's for later. Now we are going after the power of the Orange Lantern, the Greed Lantern. Now, I do know a little lore about this one. I do know that the current Orange Lantern is the only Orange Lantern, as he is too greedy to share his power or to create another ring, which is pretty cool. Even the guards on this planet are just constructs of the Orange Lantern, showing just how far he'll go to not share anything. At some point, we make it into the Orange Lantern's temple, and we have to solve these light puzzles. Now, I don't know if it was this hard for everyone, or whether I'm just retarded, but somehow I failed this 11-year-old puzzle. Eventually, I worked my way through it, got past the puzzle, thank God, and we got the power of the Orange Lantern. Now onto the second to last story mission. It has us going after the Yellow Lantern's power, but it won't be as easy as the last ones because the Red and Orange Lantern already called ahead and let Sinestro know what is happening. So from the get-go, we are separated from our Green Lantern and ditch the silly disguises to wear our normal ones to take down the Yellow Lantern. After struggling with some puzzles on this planet, eventually we make it to the end of the mission where we have to face off against Sinestro himself, but Batman eventually manages to sneak behind the villains and steal some of the Yellow Lantern's power. Now the final mission has us all reunited back at the Fortress of Solitude, but as all the allies show up, so does the Yellow, Orange and Red Lanterns. We spend the first part of this mission battling and tricking the evil Lanterns into using their ring powers to combine all the Lantern energies into the crystal Superman created, so that we could revert all of the emotional madness and revert the shrinking of Earth. Upon doing this, Brainiac manages to escape his cage in Gotham, as the cage was big, the planet was small, now the planet's big and the cage is small, etc. And then we have to battle him, but before that he decides to turn Superman into a giant and turns him evil, just as Batman predicted. Thankfully we manage to take him down, and once he's turned good again, he takes down Brainiac and the world is saved, ending the LEGO Batman 3 story. Now just like every other LEGO game, you will get a trophy upon completing each mission, but also, like every other LEGO game, it seems, I've already played this game story years ago. So here's all those trophies, and thank you past me. Also, there is another trophy for getting True Hero in any mission, but again, I already had this one, so add that to the total. But we aren't done yet. Remember that secret mission I said we have? We have to do it before we can move on to the story cleanup. The bonus mission is a secret bonus Adam West Batman level. We start this level off by playing as Batman and Robin, rebuilding probably the most iconic Batmobile ever, second to probably only the Tumbler. Then we are chasing down Joker in the Batmobile, but now we are joined by Batgirl in a Batcopter, love it. Then we end the mission in a bar, now fighting against the Joker, Catwoman, Penguin, and the Riddler, all in their old costumes, but eventually we beat them all and that ends the mission, granting us another trophy. Now that I have completed all those missions for the first time, it is now time to replay all 16 of them to collect all the character tokens, True Heroes, Red Bricks, Adam West in Peril, and mini kits. If you've seen any of my other LEGO Platinum videos or done this stuff yourself, then you know how this works, and if you don't, then do yourself a favor, go watch my LEGO Marvel Superheroes Platinum video, and then come back to this. As always, I use the amazing playlist by Pack Attack. I said this in my LEGO Marvel Avengers video, but man, this person is the absolute GOAT when it comes to guides. Not only on LEGO games, but on so many others. If I remember, there will be a link to their channel in the description. Go subscribe to them, and whilst you're down there, leave a like on this video and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. More LEGO, more Platinum, whatever you want. Let me know in the comments while you're down there. Now, whilst you guys are watching me replay all these missions in the background, I thought I would take some time to talk about my opinions on this game's story. Overall, it was a good and enjoyable story, even on the second time playing through. It's definitely an expected story in the way that Brainiac is the main villain, as he seems to be the main villain in a lot of DC video games, which is not a bad thing. I quite like Brainiac as a villain. However, I didn't expect the whole Lantern side of it, where you go and visit all their planets and with all the emotions switching and stuff. Ultimately, I feel like this was not needed and was just an excuse to get us away from Earth, but I enjoyed it all nonetheless. During the story cleanup, without meaning to, I got the One Small Step for Batman trophy for visiting the Moon Hub world. After this, I went and brought all the red bricks and activated them all at the same time for that trophy. Now, right before we jump into the DLCs of this game, I just want to take a moment to thank you all for the love on my previous video and for all of you that chose LEGO Batman 3 and its DLCs as my next, or I guess current video. I truly do appreciate all of you, and even just watching the video means so much to me. But the more of you that like and subscribe, the more I know that you guys want this content, and therefore the faster I push it out. So whilst you're in the comments letting me know what game to do next, be sure to subscribe. It's free and you can always change your mind later. Every DLC has 3 stages. First, play through it, then 100% it, and then get the miscellaneous trophies, a lot like the base game. Okay, so following the DLCs in order of the trophies, first is the Man of Steel DLC. This DLC acts as like a prequel to the Man of Steel movie. We play as Superman's parents as they protect him and send him off into his escape pod. Eventually we reach the end where we have to fight against Zod and all his best allies before finally putting little Superman into the escape pod and blasting him away to Earth. Now upon completing the level I got 2 trophies, one for completing the mission and one for completing it with a true hero status, which was super easy considering I had all the red bricks activated, including the stud multipliers. I then set both free play characters to Zod and Superman, Man of Steel, for that trophy, and then I played through the Man of Steel mission as Crypto, and then finally collected all the mission mini-kits. The next DLC mission is the Batman 75th anniversary. We just play as Harley Quinn and the Joker as they spray paint the Batmobile, ruin the bat signals, compete in a dance battle for some reason, and just be menaces basically. Upon completing the missions, which actually all these missions only take about 20-30 minutes, which is pretty good, we are given the mission complete and true hero trophies. Back in the Watchtower, I set both characters as Vampire Batman and Sinestro Corpse Batman as they are also part of this DLC. I then jumped back into the mission where I completed the dance battle as the Adam West Batman, and then got a trophy for completing the mission with all mini-kits. The third DLC level was based on the Dark Knight trilogy. It says Dark Knight trilogy, but the mission is just the second movie. We first play as the Joker and his goon as they blow up police vehicles. I think this mission takes place at the point in the second movie where Harvey Dent tells everyone that he's Batman and we're like chasing him down, I'm pretty sure. On the second half of the mission, we play as Batman and Harvey Dent as they battle through more bad guys and eventually arrest the Joker, giving us 2 more trophies, one for finishing the mission and one for the true hero. I then set both characters as Dark Knight trilogy versions of Scarecrow and Bane for that trophy. I then replayed the mission and collected all the mini-kits, and finally I beat up Batman as the Joker in his nurse outfit for our final trophy of this DLC pack. The next DLC mission is one from the Arrowverse. Now I have never watched this show, or The Flash, or Supergirl, none of it, so I'm unsure of what's happening, but essentially we play as Green Arrow as we work our way through all the enemies on the island. At some point there is a time where there is an infinite enemies of spawning unless you build the zip for the tent and zip it up. So I took advantage of that and killed 20 people with a bow and arrow for that trophy. I then finished the mission getting those 2 trophies for beating the mission and getting True Believer. I then replayed the mission and set my 2 characters as these 2 people. I don't know who they are, but here's the trophy. And then I finished the mission with all the mini kits. I then moved on to the Bizarro DLC pack. This takes place on the Bizarro planet with the Bizarro Justice League, whilst the planet is under attack by Darkseid and his evildoers. Now, you may be wondering, what's a Bizarro? Bizarro is the name of the reverse Superman, and basically the Justice League is just a bunch of reverse versions of him, like all their names are backwards, so Batman, his name's backwards and stuff like that, and then they speak backwards, so when they say that they hate something, they say that they love it instead, so it's pretty funny. Essentially, I just worked my way through the planet, getting rid of these purple rays and such. Not much to say, honestly. It's cool that Bizarro is truly the opposite of Superman. For example, Superman has ice breath and heat vision, but Bizarro has heat breath and ice vision. But as usual, upon completing the mission, I got those 2 trophies. Then put both free play characters as Darkseid and Desaad. I then took Darkseid to the moon for that trophy, which is clearly a reference to the hit 2011 film Transformers Dark of the Moon, obviously. I then finished off this DLC pack with all the mini kits. The 6th and final DLC is entitled as The Squad, which is obviously the S-word squad. I don't feel like testing the YouTube algorithm today, but you know who I'm talking about. This is definitely the longest out of all the DLC missions for me, but also the most fun in my opinion. As always, I completed the mission and got the trophy for beating it, and the trophy for beating it with the True Believer status. I then got the Task Force Expert trophy for completing the mission with all the mini kits, and then put both free play characters as Amanda Waller and Harley Quinn. And then the weird and final trophy for this DLC set is Vroom Vroom for completing a race on Harley Quinn's motorcycle. Now it is finally time for the remaining cleanup. There is just 20 trophies standing between me and the LEGO Batman 3 Platinum trophy. So let's not waste any more time. This video is already way longer than usual, and let's just jump straight into it. The first trophy I went for was a nice and easy one for visiting all the Lantern planets in one play session. Then, whilst on the purple Lantern planet of Nock, I knocked out the other playable character for another trophy. Whilst jumping between worlds, I decided to stop on the moon, and looking for something interesting, I found these cows, so that's something. Whilst exploring the Lanterns planet and trying to get that 100% as quick as I can, because I already am approaching 30 hours on this game, I found a donut and destroyed it, which ended up being a trophy. Most of this cleanup comes from the character trophies, but the thing is, I have to unlock them first, so in order to do that, I have to 100% all the hub worlds. Now, most of these are the Lantern planets, which all of them except Oa, the Green Lantern one, are basically the same activities, but there is also the Watchtower, the Hall of Justice, the Hall of Doom, which is kind of the same as the Hall of Justice, and the Batcave, each with their own unique side quests and activities to complete, but they all intertwine with one another. One of the most prominent activity is where you have the Green Loon Toon, who is just Daffy Duck as Green Lantern, giving you a tour of most of the Lantern planets where a bunch of shenanigans happen. On the Love planet, he's looking for a girlfriend. On the Greed planet, he gets an orange ring and gets obsessed over the gold bricks and all this stuff. Eventually, once you complete all his quests, you unlock him as a character, and once you beat a race as him, you get another trophy. I then got the trophy for simply bouncing on a bouncy object 50 times. And not long after, I got Hard Traveling Heroes for playing as Green Lantern and Green Arrow at the same time, and then I got the trophy for turning Bane into his big fig form. At one point, I did a challenge where I needed to use Shazam, and whilst using him, I turned him back into Billy and then turned Billy back into Shazam for that trophy. Now, whilst exploring the open world, there is a few quests that need a custom character, and so when doing my first one and creating my first custom character, I got that trophy. And then eventually made it to the Batcave, and whilst here I played as the Riddler for the Intruder Alert trophy. Then I got the trophy for destroying a secret Riddler trophy. And then I played as Batman, Zur, and R. And sticking with the Batman theme, I set both playable characters as Batmite and Mr. Pickle. I have no idea how to say that. Okay, we're so close to the Platinum Trophy. First, I set both characters to Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn. I then changed them to Ace the Bat-Hound and Crypto the Superdog. And after that, I changed them to Blue Beetle and Booster Gold. I then managed to save the final Adam West and finally played as him for the Bright Knight trophy. After that, I glided with Batman. It could be any character that can glide, but I did it with Batman for 10 continuous seconds. I then stumbled across the secret celebrity room, and for the final trophy, I witnessed the 100% Lego stud fountain, and with that, I got the Lego Batman 3 Platinum trophy. So that was my LEGO Batman 3 Platinum experience. To be completely honest, I think I preferred this grind over any LEGO game I have done so far. I mean, I might be a little biased as Batman is my favorite superhero of all time and I love just about anything with him involved, but this is a really good LEGO game and I don't understand the hate it gets. Maybe it's not as good as the other two LEGO Batman games, but well, I haven't played the other two LEGO Batman games yet, maybe I should do that. Anyways, let me know down below, how do you feel about this video? Do you like me doing all the DLCs? Do you like the longer length of the video? Any critique is always welcome. And as always, be sure to like and subscribe for more amazing content like this, and I'll see you all next time.